imagine for a moment, what if the real secret to a healthy mind wasn't about adding more? More therapy, more strategies, more things to do. What if it was actually about becoming a really good editor of your own thoughts? Like deciding what not to even entertain in your mind. Well, today we're looking into a really insightful book that proposes exactly this. It says a healthy mind is an editing mind. It's all about distilling what's essential from all the overwhelm, finding those moments of clarity, and kind of reshaping our inner world for more peace, more effectiveness. This book, it has so many aha moments, a bit like our mindful moments on our YouTube channel, actually, where our AI book analysis sparks reflection and rational thought. It's really about giving you a shortcut to being well-informed, equipped with these practical insights. So let's unpack this idea, this editing mind. The book argues our mind should work like a skillful sieve, filtering out disruptive thoughts, dramatic ones, even horrifying ones, leaving just what we need for effective living. It's less passive receiver, more active curator.
Exactly, an internal curator. I like that.
Yeah. And it's not just about being generally positive, right? That can feel a bit shallow sometimes. This book is specific. It says keep those punitive, self-critical judgments away. Those inner voices telling us we're unworthy long after they stop being useful.
Mm-hmm. Like when you're going for a job interview or something.
Exactly, or starting something new. And it's also about resisting unfair comparisons.
Oh, that's a big one.
Isn't it? Where you see someone else's life or achievements and it just throws you off course, makes you feel inadequate.
Because you're comparing apples and oranges, really. Different paths, different starting points.
Right, your path is unique.
And what's really fascinating is how the book talks about fear. It suggests a healthy mind keeps a judicious grip on the drip, drip, drip of fear. It makes this vital distinction, doesn't it, between what could conceivably happen.
Right, like the absolute worst case scenario.
Exactly, and what is actually likely to happen. So, you could worry about a tiny blood vessel failing or a plane engine falling off.
Things that are vanishingly rare.
Vanishingly rare. But a healthy mind, according to this book, it just lets you be. It leaves you in peace about those wilder possibilities.
It avoids the catastrophic thinking.
Yes. Recognizing there are usually stable steps between us and disaster, not some slippery slope.
That feels much more manageable.
Which does raise the question, where do these unhelpful voices, these fears, actually come from?
Yeah, where do they originate?
And the book gives this almost weary but definite. Yes, it's our early experiences. Even things like a somewhat cold father or maybe an erratic mother, they can really shape adult anxieties, self-hatred even.
Oh, and so it goes deep.
It goes deep.
Yeah.
The book argues our minds carry the imprint of absorbed messages, fear, ridicule, shame from caregivers, even if they didn't explicitly tell us to worry about existing.
We just absorbed it as kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Highly impressionable. And those distortions, they can unfortunately stick around buried under layers of maturity, quietly pulling strings for years.
Okay, so if these patterns are that deep, how on earth do we begin to edit them?
That's the crucial next step, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the book suggests creating a small, safe, internal space for self-questioning.
Okay.
Using really simple prompts. Things like, why is this thing so worrying?
Just asking the question.
Just asking. And then maybe, what can I tell myself to make this feel less overwhelming?
Right. Actively reframing.
And finally, completing the sentence, I feel compassion for myself because...
That feels important. Self-compassion.
Very. It sounds simple, maybe just a few minutes work, but the book argues it can really shift your internal weather.
Daring to whisper what's truly difficult.
Exactly. Instead of working with these, surface level ideas of ourselves.
Yeah.
Getting honest.
So if we're constantly editing out the negative, how do we make sure we're also letting the positive in?
That's a great point. Balance.
Yeah. How do we find positive input? Well, the book actually, it draws parallels with art, like that ancient Chinese painting, 6 Persimmons.
Ah, yes. Simple but profound.
Right. It reminds us that tragedy often lies in just failing to appreciate what we have. We rush past the ordinary. Our pillow, a lemon on the counter, a quiet afternoon, always looking for something grander.
The next big thing.
Yeah. But the book, inspired by artists like Dürer, who studied everyday things like pillows and plants.
Incredible detail.
Incredible detail. It teaches us to feast on the unassuming beauty that's already there. Fresh bread, writing in a journal. That quiet satisfaction.
Finding beauty against the backdrop of difficulty, that's powerful.
It really is grounding.
And building on that, connecting it to the bigger picture, the book suggests that real solace, real peace, might not just be in grand adventures. It can often be found right in our own homes, in that sanctuary.
Domesticity as sanctuary.
Exactly. It references Kirsting's painting, The Embroiderer. This woman just completely absorbed in her work in this serene room. It's a testament to that quiet satisfaction. The book almost urges us, limit your ambitions maybe to the boundaries of home. Cultivate that inner life. Stop worrying so much what others think.
So staying home isn't necessarily avoidance.
Not necessarily. It could be a profound path to contentment, genuine inner peace.
Yeah.
And then there's this fascinating take on nature. It might seem a bit bleak at first.
Oh, how so?
Well, through works like Hokusai's Mount Fuji views or Hodler's Mountains.
Iconic images.
Right. They show nature's steadiness. It's indifference to our human struggles.
Indifference. That does sound a bit bleak.
It sounds it, but the book presents it as a source of redemption, strangely enough.
Redemption. How?
Because when you stand before something immense, like a mountain range formed millions of years ago, your own sense of importance just shrinks dramatically.
Perspective.
Exactly. That humbling feeling can actually soothe our bruised egos, makes the daily rejections, the little arguments, feel less significant against that vast time scale.
It puts things in their place. A liberating shift.
Precisely.
So, taking that perspective further, what does embracing this smallness mean for us individually?
Well, the book uses these beautiful metaphors, like the firefly.
The firefly?
Yeah, beautifully transient, right? Protesting bravely against the dark for its short life. Or the ancient San Juan River, deep, gravelly voice.
Evocative images.
They help us embrace our slightness, our brevity. We're not lions, not tortoises, built for long range.
We're fireflies.
We're fireflies. And surrendering that that absurd and painful sense of seriousness about ourselves can be incredibly liberating.
Letting go of self-importance.
Yeah. Accepting our actions are like a short, merry dance in the grand scheme. It allows for a lighter approach to life, more joy. But it does make you wonder, how far can we realistically take this cosmic perspective for inner peace?
Right. Can we really think about geology all day?
Probably not. But the book suggests engaging with it, with astronomy, geology. Imagine yourself from billions of kilometers away, or think about life 2.5 billion years ago, the Proterozoic era.
Wow, that really pulls you out of the day-to-day drama.
It anchors your disengagement. Those feelings of loneliness or insignificance, they find a home in the vast, silent cosmos. It's comforting, in a way.
A sense of belonging to something huge.
Exactly. And the book is realistic, too. It mentions that, for some, external guardrails might be needed, like medication.
To create the space for that perspective.
Yes, to provide protection against that inner turmoil. Stop the mind-running marathon so you can absorb this broader view.
Now let's shift a bit. There's this really crucial, compassionate point in the book. The best cure for mental illness is company.
So important.
It uses Hodler's painting again, The Disappointed Souls.
Powerful image.
Isn't it? People physically close, millimeters apart, but utterly isolated, like they're in different countries.
The tragedy of isolation.
Exactly. And the book says healing starts when we realize we're not alone in our wretchedness, that we should actually reach out, lament together.
Lament in unison, not hide it away.
Yeah. Imagine social occasions focused on exchanging notes on misery, transforming personal agony into something shared, validating.
That's quite radical. And that connects directly to another key insight about relationships and trust. The book highlights how many mental traumas, especially around trust, stem from early abandonment.
Someone wasn't there when we needed them.
Precisely, through our internal balance off. And so a loving companion, the book argues, understands this wound. They're willing to fight to earn our trust. They don't desert us, even when we might, perhaps unconsciously, push them away. Test them.
Incite despair as a test.
Wow.
Yeah.
That consistent presence is vital repair work. Proving loyalty, even when we say awful things or act indifferent, it helps heal those old wounds.
So practically, how do we do that in conversations? Build that connection, that trust?
Well, the book champions something called reflective listening.
Reflective listening. Okay.
Instead of jumping in to fix things or offering platitudes like, don't worry.
Which often doesn't help anyway.
Right. You simply say, I hear you. Or, yeah, it really can feel like that sometimes.
Just acknowledging.
Yeah.
Validating.
Exactly. The theory is many big problems don't have easy solutions. But the deep human need is just to be heard. Understood.
And when feelings are truly acknowledged,
they paradoxically become less intense. It allows for real connection. Someone saying they want to, burn the country down. Probably don't really want that.
They just want to be heard in their anguish.
Precisely. Seen. Which brings us to vulnerability. Why is it so hard for so many of us?
Yeah, it really is tough, isn't it?
Yeah. And the book explains we often, we lie. We pretend to be strong to keep love.
Put on a show.
Put on a show, disown our needs, our longings, pretend to be this perfect version.
To keep affection.
Right. But the book insists true bonds, lasting ones, aren't built on perfection. They're built on mutual disclosure, sharing vulnerabilities.
Being real with each other.
Absolutely. We're guaranteed not to be alone in our fears, our neediness. Everyone behind the exterior has their follies, their tender spots.
We can't love paragons of strength.
We can't. True love accepts mutual imperfection. That's where the connection is.
And this next part is really interesting. The book's take on anger.
Ah, yes, that often gets suppressed.
Totally. We're taught to be nice, right? But the book argues the danger of those who have never shouted is that they might, in compensation, end up screaming.
Ooh, that's powerful. Pent-up anger.
Exactly. It suggests expressing contained anger politely, but definitely can actually be like fertilizer for relationships.
Fertilizer. How so?
It allows something less bitter, more alive, to emerge between people. It advises regular, thoughtful chances for partners to air disappointments before they fester.
Deal with it before it explodes.
Right, because anger takes an increasing toll the longer it's ignored.
And the book does this brilliant thing. It distills complex relationship needs down to 5 core emotional requirements. It says if these are met, other differences feel minor.
Okay, what are they?
First, a union of mutual tenderness. Second, a nuanced understanding of each other's past emotional burdens, seeing each other with that therapeutic generosity.
Empathy for the baggage we all carry.
Precisely. Third, regularly airing disappointments without opposition keeps resentment low, affection warm. Fourth, a clear desire to have each other in your life and seeing self-improvement attempts as positive, not attacks.
Supporting growth.
Yes. And fifth, recognizing all these are crucial for ongoing affection and admiration. Meet these, the book says, and the relationship can truly thrive.
So, pulling this all together, what does this book say about success in our achievement-obsessed world?
It really challenges modern meritocracy, doesn't it?
It does. That idea that a modest life is unacceptable, that if you're not at the top, you're a loser.
A harsh view.
Very. The book offers a much more generous, humane perspective. It says we count simply because we exist. Our achievements don't define our worth.
That's a relief to hear.
Isn't it? It says it's possible to fail by the world's standards, lose chances to impress, and still be profoundly valuable, still deserving of love.
It disconnects worth from external validation.
Exactly. Corrects that idea that we only earn care through performance.
And related to that is career fulfillment, beyond just success. The book suggests looking back to childhood play. What did you truly enjoy before impressing people or earning money mattered?
Rediscovering intrinsic motivation.
Yes. And it also champions small improvements.
Small improvement.
Tasks that make a tangible, immediate difference in someone's life. Helping with language, cleaning a garden, providing nourishing food.
Things with direct impact.
Direct, tangible impact. These small acts, the book argues, help us stay steady against huge odds. Better than constantly striving for massive, complex impact and feeling like a failure if we don't achieve it.
Finding meaning in the achievable. I like that. Okay, and here's where the book gets really counterintuitive, I think. It champions pessimism.
Pessimism is a strength.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds odd.
But it's not defeatism. It's more like an acceptance of our fragility, the unpredictability of life. For anyone facing big challenges like severe mental illness, it means being deeply grateful for good days, serene about the bad ones, appreciative of small gains, vigilant about relapse.
Managing expectations.
Exactly. And mourning the easy life you might have wanted rather than constantly lamenting it.
Accepting reality, even the difficult parts.
Yeah. It helps accept our sensitive minds, find community with others who are struggling, instead of feeling uniquely punished.
And building on that, the book offers this really intriguing alternative to modern pressures, an aristocracy of the spirit.
Aristocracy of the spirit, what's that?
It's inspired by the writer Stendhal. It's not about money or status. It's about having elegant taste, deep sensibility, lofty ideas, a refined mind.
Inner qualities.
Inner qualities. Being psychologically above popular opinion, cultivating this internal castle of sensitivity.
A castle of sensitivity.
Yeah. Allowing you to be indifferent to the chatter mass media fans' judgments. Valuing mental refinement over outward stuff.
Yeah.
Owing to a different kind of lineage, one of shared sensitivity, genuine nobility of mind.
That's a really beautiful alternative ideal. The book also has this fascinating take on time itself, how we can kind of lengthen our lives.
Not by adding more years, though.
No, not adding years, by filling the days we have with novelty, like childhood.
Ah, because childhood feels so long.
Exactly, because it's packed with novelty. Discovering zippers, holding your nose underwater, tiny things feel huge.
Constant newness.
Right. So this deliberate pursuit of new sensations, even simple ones, can make time feel longer. Combat that bewildering gallop of routine that hits in middle age.
Injecting novelty into the mundane. And finally, maybe the most profound redefinition of success in the book is that the quiet life is itself a singular achievement.
The quiet life as an achievement.
Yes. What looks normal, unremarkable from the outside, early nights, steady routines, taking time to just process feelings.
The stuff we often take for granted.
Exactly. The book argues that's a tremendous triumph, given what we might be wrestling with inside.
Wow.
It encourages us to genuinely commemorate those quiet, hard-won moments of recovery, of just living steadily, like the artist Hamish Fulton documenting his walks, or that picture of a bathtub captioned, May 12, evening, 2 hours of soaking, rethinking my relationship to what other people think.
Celebrating the small victories of inner peace.
Exactly. Those unshowy moments are where real strength, resilience, and healing happen.
So today we've journeyed through this really remarkable book, The Inner Editor. We've learned that a healthy mind is fundamentally an editing mind.
Mm-hmm. Filtering and choosing.
That perspective can truly transform suffering. And that real connection and redefining success can bring such profound peace.
It's about building that inner sanctuary.
Finding beauty in the overlooked and, humbly accepting our place. Maybe even embracing a kind of dignified modesty. For more insights like these and AI book analysis that sparks reflection, remember to check out Mindful Moments on our YouTube channel. And do explore our other podcasts, too. We're really dedicated to providing these unique shortcuts to help you become truly well-informed.
So maybe a thought to leave you with. What single act of self-compassion, drawing on this book's wisdom, will you commit to today? Knowing is not just a luxury, right? It's a fundamental necessity for real mental freedom.
Thank you so much for joining us on this exploration. If you found value here, please do subscribe so you don't miss future deep dives. Share this book and its ideas with someone you think might benefit. And consider buying the full book, the links in our description, to continue your own journey. And most importantly, keep thinking critically. Keep applying these powerful ideas to your own life.